What's up, everybody? Nolan of Black Diamond Services. Before this video gets started, I wanted to do a quick shout out. On one of the last videos, somebody did the super thanks button on the right below the video, and I really appreciate that. I haven't had somebody come through and do that before, and I was wondering why one of my most recent videos had a little more earnings to it, and that was the reason why. So thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. So this job I'm going to be doing is carpet and a little bit of tile. I'm only showing the carpet on this one because it's just a little bit of tile, so it is going to be kind of hard to video that. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Definitely tell there's dogs in the house. It's hard to see it in this carpet, but it's coming out. May end up having a canister dump before I get done with this amount of carpet, which is a little over 400 square feet. So I got about, I'd say 30% of the carpet left, and I got a full canister out of it. So, probably going to be 1.5 canister dump. Or maybe this side of the room doesn't get as much use. It's quite possible too. Dog maybe doesn't hang out over here as much. I don't seem to be getting much of anything at the moment. Oh, there's a little bit at the top here. See what happens. Alright, so a little less than I was expecting, not much, but still managed to pull more out. For those wondering why I tilted the CRB while I started it, it's actually better to do that for the gears, so it's not just starting right up hard on the gears right away. So tilt it sideways, push the foot button down, and then lay it down after that. Helps protect the gears, keeps it lasting longer for you. Just a little tip for those that have one or plan on getting one. These things aren't cheap, so, and neither are gear replacement. You'd think they would probably wouldn't cost that much, but I believe a new set of gears is like 150 bucks. These ones have better gears than my last one does, so I honestly don't know if they cost more. They probably do. So it could be $170 for all I know. And then I'm sure it's a little bit better on the brushes too, which a new pair of brushes for 15-inch CRB is somewhere around $175. So you start adding those things up, it gets expensive. So little things like tilting it sideways before you start it is helpful. Cleaning the undercarriage after your jobs to remove debris is helpful. That way you don't run the risk of it rusting out as quickly, causing any types of problems. Oh boy, there it is. I was wondering if there was going to be any kick out on this job, considering the pet dander. Finally made its presence known. Alright, so you see why it's wise to clean it up after each job, because all this is still in there that didn't get thrown out from the carpet or onto the carpet. So you definitely want to get all this out and give it a wipe down, or even rinse it out and then wipe it down. That way CRB is ready to go for your next job. Only takes a couple minutes. But get all this stuff out. That way you can bundle it up and toss it so you don't spray it all over the place. And then put the brushes back in, rinse those off, put the pins back in, and you're good to go. So this is a great choice of color for hiding the dirt. because you could tell where I stopped and everything, but visually it's not night and day. So great choice in color, but it certainly is dirty. I do not know the last time they had it cleaned, because I was not let in by the homeowner, so I couldn't get that information to kind of understand where they're at, and of course make suggestions based on what I see. For those that don't know, carpet manufacturers suggest between 12 and 18 months. It will vary depending on your household, how many people are in it, pets or not. My average return to most clients is a year, but there are some that I would say should be as little as 6 months, and then I've had a select few that if they want to keep it clean, should be quarterly. Mainly because they had, I think, 4 large dogs in the house, and then I think 2 adults and 2 or 3 kids. So lots and lots of traffic, and then of course lots of dog oils. So just from the couple times I've been out to that particular house, it was, I think, been once a year, and it was back to where it was, like I'd never touched it. So they could have probably go for quarterly, but you, if it's just yourself or 2 adults, once a year will keep it up probably fairly well. Of course, that depends on who you hire, the steps they take. Are they using the right chemistry for your specific situation, etc. So I know I asked this question a while back, and I will, when time is allowed, get to it. But I will make a video with my suggestions on what to look for, questions to ask when hiring a professional carpet cleaner. That way you guys can better understand. But if you've been watching my channel for quite a bit, you've clearly seen all the steps I take for the cleaning itself at one point or another. But there's other stuff that I do that I hope sets me apart from others. And now that we're in 2023, I'm hoping to win the local Reader's Choice Award for Best Carpet Cleaner for a 4th year in a row. It usually comes out, I think it was like September-ish. Maybe it was mid-year-ish, somewhere around there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously this looks better, but it's a great color for hiding the dirt. It's cleaning up very well, no issues. A couple little stains that thought might be tough actually were not, just something that was kind of hardened into the carpet and it came right out. So that's awesome when that happens. Don't have to go out and get a spotter and do any additional work. When it's just stuck on the carpet, then you're neutral rinsing it first. it pops out. Those are the best. Alright, so they had me do the kitchen tile, and there's a little entry I'm doing too. It's still drying out, but you can see this grout joint over here is actually starting to dry. That's its natural color. So over here it's still a little damp in the grout because I did clean it, dry it, and seal it. So there is a difference. There's some areas up front over here next to the fridge that are also drying a little faster. So they definitely look lighter. So if you have your tile cleaned, know that a lot of times the grout tends to be a little darker when it's damp, and it won't show its natural appearance until it's completely dried out. So if the guy came and cleaned it, and if they sealed it, then you're going to want to stay off of it for a couple hours, 3 hours, depending on what they suggest. In your area, it may dry faster than it does in mine. The solvent sealer that I use to protect the grout says 2 hours. I say 3 hours. Doesn't seem to have failed me yet. Obviously, if the top of the tile is still damp, by all means give it some more time. But when you got larger tiles like this, these are 18-inch. If the tile is dry and it's been less time than that, then just clean socks and step on the tiles and you shouldn't have a problem. But if you make a footprint, it should wipe right up with maybe a damp cloth. But otherwise, once this dries, it's going to look natural again, and I believe she's going to be, or both of them are going to be happy with the result. The home stretch here, this entry hall. This is the entry from the garage door, so naturally it's a little more soiled right here. Personally, I would take the carpet up at least to the part where it pops out in the hall here. Put a hard surface, if not finish out the tile that's behind me, because then you can take off your shoes before you touch the carpet and have them inside if you prefer them to be inside rather than in the garage. Down to it between the suction power and this low nap carpet. It's holding on, so one-handedness is tough, but it's going to dry out much faster, so that's why I like the stronger machines. Pulls more dirt quicker and dries them faster. I'm going to go over it one more time by the door line, but otherwise that's all I got left, then just this tile entry, and I will be all done. So, just about set there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this one. This one is being Scotch guarded, so they opted to have that done because they got kids. It makes sense to do it, especially if the carpet's still in relatively good condition. So I'll be applying that afterwards here, and then raking the carpet. Alright, so I wanted to go over one last thing. As you can see at the entry here, it looks like it's still dirty, right? Well, this is one side of the fiber, and that's the other. So you can see this area here where it looked like it was still dirty is not. So it's just the carpet fiber is worn, and one way of what gets referred to as carpet blooming, where the fibers, they untwist and then they kind of open up a little bit. So like a flower opens and blooms, it starts to reflect light off of it differently. So now that it's pushed this way, it looks better on this side. But as you can see, the dry pass I took backwards, it looks darker, right? Because the fibers are going a different direction right in that spot. So that's how you get those different looks in the triangles when somebody's cleaning. And some areas can appear to be still dirty, especially a main traffic area, when in fact it is most likely just wear in the carpet. So remember this spot right here, how it looks. Now see how it looks? See, that doesn't look as good, right? It's just because that side of the fiber is more worn, and when it's pushed this way it looks nicer. So this sections like this, you always want to double up and go a little more over, obviously, to be sure that it's not still soiled. But that's commonly what you're seeing. So if you've seen your carpet cleaner go over it a bunch of times and it still looks bad in that section, or just a little tacky, there's a good chance that it's a traffic area. You know, this whole pathway right here could be bad, but coming right out of the garage and then pivoting your feet to come in towards the house like so will, you know, wear the carpet down and make it look a little tacky in that area. So you got to take that into account. It's most likely a wear pattern. So one way to do it after it's been cleaned is check both sides. Does it look good on one side and not so well on the other? Well, as you can see over here, even though I've walked on a little bit, this area looks a little darker, right? But it's a little different on this side. So it's just the wear in the carpet. But once I rake this out, it'll look more even. I just finished applying the carpet protector. So now I'm going to grab my rake and start doing the raking of the carpet to help set the Scotchgard or carpet protector, whichever, depending on which one you use. Scotchgard is just more formally known around the world, as far as I understand, as being more of a household name, but there are many different protectors you can get. You just got to find out which one's best for you. So another thing you got to look out for on tile cleaning is, do they have missing grout? You can see right here and there, and this joint up here, you can see it looks darker right there. When you're cleaning it, it can either be weak grout that is going to pop out, or a lot of times it could be actually just filled with dirt hiding it and you don't know. So that's something you got to bring to the attention of the client, is that if the grout is weak, or if there is dirt covering it and you may not have noticed that the grout has, degraded or broken down, that it's going to reveal that once it's cleaned. So it's going to look different, obviously. So this being the entryway, it's quite possible that that is going to be what's causing it, is that there is, loose grout due to age, or it could even be a bad install. Other factors are like, it's going to be hard to tell, but this tile is higher up than this one, so it's not even. So the grout couldn't have been put in perfectly, and this one is higher than this one, so you got lippage. So there's naturally going to be some appearance difference there. And in other places where it's not completely even, the grout may have not been installed the best due to that being uneven on those between those tiles, can possibly play a factor into it. So these are things you got to look out for when you're cleaning tile. You bring it to their attention and let them know, so that way they aren't being surprised and you aren't either, because they may already know about it, and then they can tell you, and then you can be better prepared for a scenario like this to happen. But otherwise, there's the carpet all raked out. Turned out great. Finally, the dirty water dump. This is that carpet and the tile. Barely any tile though, so mostly the carpet. Kind of a medium brown, so carpet was definitely dirty. It's actually a clear day. We've been getting hit with tons of rain here in California, so, or at least in my area, lots of flooding and whatnot. And today is actually relatively clear of clouds. Beautiful day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way here to this part of the video, I'm very appreciative of those that have been around for a while. I saw a couple of you have been subscribed for 2-3 years. That's amazing. Thank you so much for the support. Always commenting and liking the video, as doing those things cause the algorithm on YouTube to suggest the videos to more people that may be of interest to them. So thank you for doing that, because that's what gets the channel around and helps us grow. So until next time, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope whatever you're doing this year to grow, that you crush it and you get everything that you're looking to do. Nolan of Black Diamond Services, I hope you guys continue to prosper in every possible way. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I haven't talked about, or maybe you just didn't know I mentioned briefly in a video that you would like me to go over. I'd be happy to, when possible, to make that happen for you guys. So I always appreciate feedback and anything else that could be beneficial to you as well.